that just stood there. And then Matt pushes it and starts screaming. But when the troll is turning Matt, his dad tries to save him, gets knocked unconscious. This troll is in a public space kidnapping children, and Matt is screaming for his life. And it sounds like he's in absolute pain as he's being turned into a wooden statue.
Yeah, he's probably scared out of his mind.
Just screaming.
Yeah, and I guess there's one more that we should talk about, and that's Rimshot.
Oh, that's the saddest thing, dude. It leads to some funny bits. That's why this movie's smart, because that's heartbreaking, but then he starts making jokes about it, and you're like, oh, okay, I can laugh again.
Yeah. I mean, Rimshot is an underrated character in this film.
Rimshot understands English.
Can drive.
I mean, Rimshot is a very smart dog.
He basically gives Ernest the pep talk to fight the troll with the Miak.
Oh, yeah, he bites him.
Yeah.
Get over yourself, Ernest. But Ernest is all bragging. Oh.
So of the 5, I don't want to get too far off track, but of the 5 children, which is the absolute scariest to you?
I mean, listen, the execution of Elizabeth is horribly irresponsible for a PG movie. So I'm going to say that's the scariest. But the one that hit me the hardest is the skateboarder kid. Because that was me. I was right. It was daylight. He got her in the daylight. The skateboarder when it was daytime. So it's just, I wasn't used to that. And when you're riding, I ride around on my bike and I'm like, geez Louise, this thing could come from anywhere.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think my favorite is Elizabeth because it's so funny and I laughed. As a kid, I shrieked, but as an adult, I'm like, this troll, I would hang out with this troll.
Yeah, he's funny.
He is. He's really funny, actually. Like, think about it. He's like, I'm going to get this kid, but first I'm going to scare everyone in this entire building by entering the pageant. But the one that really got to me was the skater. That's 100% true.
The one thing that makes the troll less scary is when he runs into Ernest's door.
That's true.
Because he knocks him unconscious. And then Ernest backs away with an unconscious troll laying there.
That's a legitimately good action scene.
Oh, dude, it's so good. And then with the car, how about a bumper? Yeah, but he's pulling 200 horsepower. He's like,
which makes Ernest even crazy stronger if you think about it.
And then, oh yeah, and so Ernest, I love the scene. Was like, I'm too smart for you. Then the troll pulls the door off. Then Ernest is fighting. The troll has a sword, and Ernest is fighting him in the back of his pickup truck, and he wins. He knocks the troll out of that thing.
Yeah. He's an underrated action hero.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, so good. Hey, is there... now, you mentioned this earlier. Do you want to talk about the effects of this movie and the people who put it all together?
Yeah, so maybe I've talked to you about this in the past, but I am a huge fan of Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, so good.
And the people who directed that and did all of the special effects for it are the Giotto brothers. It's a pair of them, and they did the special effects for this film as well. So they made the troll, and at the end, some of the trolls are actually like clearly repurposed clowns from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. But have you seen Killer Clowns?
Oh, of course, yeah. The cotton candy.
Yeah, I own it on Blu-ray. I absolutely love that film. It's weird. It's a weird, bizarre film. But I love it. And I think they're probably one of the main reasons this movie did so well. Because like, as you talked about earlier, like having a crazy, scary monster, I think is important to making a movie last, like making it stick into kids' minds.
It's a scary monster. So much snot.
And we're talking about it 30 years later.
Yeah, it still wrecks there's a lot of talent behind this. So the cinematographer, Hanania Bear, he was a Canon guy. He worked on Masters of the Universe, American Ninja, Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo. He did Breaking. He did Dracula Sucks. And then you had Brent Baker, who worked on a lot of the creatures and like the molds. This Brent Baker, dude, he's worked on Looper, Attack the Block, Men in Black, Spider-Man, Gremlins, Gremlins 2, Terminator 2, Evolution, Hellboy, The Predator. That guy is an A-plus talent in the film industry. He was on this film. You had the Chiodo brothers, who did Critters as well. Let's not forget that. That's awesome.
They did. I didn't realize that.
And Paul Lombardi was in this. He was the special effects coordinator. He's done In the Army Now, Clear and Present Danger, Hamburger Hill, The Pest, Office Space, Charlie's Angels, We Were Soldiers, and then all of CSI. And my favorite part about this movie, dude, Chuck Waters, famed stuntman, was Ernest's stuntman in the Ernest movies. Chuck Waters, he was in Temple of Doom. He was in E.T., Raiders of the Last Ark, Apocalypse Now, The Manitou. We covered that. That's funny. A Bond movie, Diamonds Are Forever. He was in The Exorcist. He's the guy that took the falls in The Exorcist. Chuck Waters. He was in Last Crusade, Demolition Man, Deer Hunter. But he was Ernest's stunt double in Ernest Saves Christmas and other movies. He worked in Ernest Saves Christmas. So Chuck Waters, the guy that worked with Spielberg. Man, who's the guy that did Coppola? I mean, massive directors. And he was in the Bond world. Ernest stunt double. He was the stunt coordinator on this movie.
There's a reason why this movie's so good.
When people, all right, so this movie's not so bad, it's good. I think this movie is good.
I think it's good for the right age group.
Yeah, there it is.
Like, we saw it as kids and remembering it fondly as adults, and there are some really funny lines and weird things in it that I personally enjoy. But if you had no connection to Ernest and you watched this, it would be a weird experience.
Yeah, you're right. And I have one question. There's one weird line in this movie. When he's talking about Mrs. Hackmore, he's like, it's the full moon, if you know what I mean. What is he trying to say to these kids about Mrs. Hackmore?
Okay.
Is she a werewolf? Is he talking about something else?
Well, he's talking about like that whole myth that when it's a full moon, people act crazy.
Oh, okay. I thought he was trying to be like weird about something, and Megan's like, no, he's not.
He's definitely implying that she's nutty, which is funny because he's also a nut job.
Yeah, that's funny. Now I was kind of like, what does that mean exactly? But then you have full moon, people get crazy. I thought he was referring to something else, and Megan's like, Mark, you're too sensitive. I don't need to bring it up.
Lady Hackmore is actually a werewolf.
Yeah.
At that point, she'd have to be a reverse werewolf because it's a full moon and she's not actually a werewolf.
Oh, jeez Louise. But I mean, this movie has a lot of talent behind the scenes. John Cherry knew Ernest back and forth. We've talked about the amazing lines in this film. I mean, it's just a funny... You're right. If one joke missed, there's going to be another one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it might be better to watch it in chunks because, like, there's so many good lines. That fight scene is so good. I love how dumb Ernest is, and yet how brave he is at the same time. He doesn't have a filter, and everything he says is just he's an imbecile, and yet he is there and he is ready to rock.
It's like a Mr. Potato Head as big as a watermelon.
No filter.
Oh, there's a fat puppy. I hate fat. Oh, so many good lines. So there's an album of troll love songs. So
on the desk?
Yeah, is there a subset? Like, are for there to be troll love songs, are there good trolls in this world?
So they don't. It's so strange. They don't really expand on the troll universe. I'm going to assume that there has to be, because it's not like the trolls. All right, so Trantor is out there trying to capture kids so he can bring his species back from extinction.
Yes.
True. That's what's happening. That's why he's capturing these kids. But the trolls don't necessarily have to like capture the kids and eat them. They just need to get out of the tree. So I want to think that there are good trolls somewhere in the world
who have love songs.
Yes, and they're probably all like Barry White's. Husband troll sets up some rosé for when his wife gets home.
Oh my gosh. And now, a couple more things I just want to cover real quick. I love the bit where Ernest is setting up that giant troll trap and the lid slams on his hand and he grabs his sucker and he just looks back and forth, and he starts yelling. That physical comedy. I mean, he's a very good physical comedian.
Do you see a lot of physical... I feel like we don't see a lot of physical comedians. Like, they're rare to see nowadays.
Oh, yeah. Man, can you...
I mean, Jack Black's a physical comedian, but he's not new.
What's he been? He hasn't really done anything lately.
Well, he was in Jungle Book, and he's going to be
yeah.
Jumanji.
Oh, he's back in that. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but I can't think off the top of my head of another like a really really physical comedian.
No, can't do it.
I'm sure they exist, and there has to be another one coming up.
This is completely off the thing, but I also want to bring up when he says he calls him short change. He says, "Aloha, El Rancho El Grande, you're Elvis." Oh, that might be my favorite. You're Elvis. I keep saying and thens, but I want to get so much into this. And then also, one more thing. When you were young and you saw these kids on their bicycles riding through a grocery store and just loading up with milk, how awesome was that for an 8, 9-year-old kid?
Like being able to ride through a grocery store is amazing.
When you're 8 or 9 and being able to load up with milk?
Yeah. I mean, I really dislike milk, but I'll go with the riding to the grocery store, arming yourself to go fight trolls. Awesome.
Wasn't that sweet?
Yeah.
But that guy kind of pulled a 180, the shopkeeper, because he was mortified. He pulled a gun out. Then he was at the police station. Then he was like, "What are you guys doing?" He saw that troll. So he recovered pretty quickly from that, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And he showed up with the rest of the town. They showed up to fight the trolls.
And they just got destroyed. The trolls really do have senses of humor. I love that scene where Ernest and the trolls are running around the tree. And then they run into each other. Or guess the number between 1 and 10, and he pokes the troll in the eyes with 2 fingers. Oh my gosh. I love this movie.
All the trolls, like, they're all clownish a little bit, yeah.
Do you have any final things about this flick?
No, other than I think you should check it out for Halloween. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, it's brilliant. And then, hey, so in honor of Miak, you should go listen to the 15-minute episode. But we picked our favorite, like, fake foods, correct? In movies.
Yes.
So we're going to make a dinner?
We're going to make a dinner. So we're going to put 5 together each and then make our top 5 meal.
I like it.
Okay, this is going to be weird. I love it.
And so I don't know if I cheated or not, but I have a couple drinks in here. I just want to see what you think about that.
I have at least one, so I think that's fine.
Okay, and I might be stealing one of your drinks here, so let me know if I am. Do you mind if I go first?
Yeah, I made a list of about 10, so we're definitely going to have 5 each.
Okay, so my number 1 pick is Brondo.
Oh my God, I forgot about Brondo.
It has electrolytes.
Oh, that's so good.
From Idiocracy.
That has to go on the list. I don't care. That's on the list.
What's in Brondo? Like what's in an electrolyte? It's what's in Brondo. Why don't you put water on the plants? You mean the stuff that's in the toilet? Brondo. I had to do it. I had to pick Brondo from Idiocracy.
That's really good. Okay. My number 1 pick is The Stuff from The Stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I love that movie. Love it, love it, love it. And I think it's hilarious.
I mean, I love it.
The problem is, it's not, you can't really eat it, though.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe that's disqualified because it's going to turn you into a zombie.
Yeah, I guess for dinner we don't want to eat it, but we can love it.
Yeah, okay. That was a weird pick, but still my number 1.
It's perfect. My second pick is Eggs Erroneous from Ernest Goes to Camp. So Tom and Bobby are working there, and they're the cooks. And so Tom and Bobby, too, they went from being cooks, then they went to being security guards, and then they went to being more security guards, and then they went to owning a shop. They moved everywhere Ernest moved, which is interesting. But in the first one, they had Eggs Erroneous, which is this gross blue-greenish dish made of eggs and something erroneous.
Ew.
Ew.
Okay. All right. Here is my number 2. I think this might be on yours. Blue Milk from Star Wars.
Oh, I did not do that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know, I wrote an article about how long it took for Luke to... We should do that as a data podcast. How long it took Luke to be comfortable enough to drink the milk.
I mean, is it milk? I think it's milk, but I don't know.
I mean, it's like a sea cow. So I guess sea cows in this world make a milk as substance.
Yeah.
I love it. Dude, that's hilarious. We should do that as a data a podcast, just talking about how long it took him to get comfortable enough to walk up to that giant thing and get milk from it. And what were the first experiences like?
That's so weird.
So my next one is the Big Kahuna Burger from Pulp Fiction.
Oh, okay. That was my number number 5. So we definitely have a 2.
Yeah.
100% agree.
I mean, the reason I